Okay, I'm back. Uh, Still don't see any unicorns. My computer decided that streaming on YouTube is too precious for them, so turn it off. Okay. Uh, so do you have any questions from the last lecture seminar? I already asked it, but maybe you obtained some during those precious minutes. Maybe I would like to. Yeah.
What's the difference between retroflex D and not retroflex D, and the same with je and the other sound? Because I have just known that in Russian we surprisingly have retroflex je in the word like jaba, and I have never known that. So why it's not like je in English?
This is really nice topic. Uh, this will include a little bit Russian, but anyhow. So there are different interpretation of the same sound, and we actually discuss it. So we can have different phonological interpretation of different sounds. And for instance, in Russian we have sh and z, and those are actually nice because this is a variation across speakers. So first, I would like to define something as retroflex. So I would define retroflex sound as those when you retract the tip of your tongue backward. So this person, so I'm showing this with my hand, assuming that the person look to the my right over there. So here is it. This is an eye, this is nose, and this is tongue in the in the normal position. But when we have retroflex, it's actually doing something like this. I'm not too handy, but this is the idea. And the difference, we can do it with all kind of coronal sounds. So for instance, we have t, but it's possible to say t, t, t. So this is the difference. T, 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 t. And the same with d, 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 l, r, l, l, r, 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 sh, 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 z, z, and so on and so on. And I think something like retroflex, sh and z are present in Chinese because when whenever you hear some Chinese speakers, you definitely see some hear something like and but maybe it's just I don't know. I'm not sure. So I don't know any Chinese, so maybe I won't tell anything about this. But I expect them to have them. And backward to your question. So we can look to the different phonological description of Russian, and you find different thing. So first that you can find maybe oh here's a it's a cat. Nice cat city. Um, IPA IPA chart, and here is a difference. So in different description, you will find that Russian will describe as having post alveolar like sh and z, or sometimes it's described as retroflex like sh and j. Uh, so those are also, it's nice to show you a sign. And another thing about retroflex, that all retroflex sign in IPA, they actually have this tail. At the, it's not the only possible tail, but they all have, all retroflex sounds in IPA have more or less the same tail. So it's something like more long to the bottom right. So here, 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 and here. It's not the only tail because, for instance, there is this kind of tail for implosives, And there is also this kind of tail for palatals here and here. Okay, so those are two kind of sounds. And what I usually ask to perform when I teaching phonetics in Russian class, actually, I, for some reason, uh, I think that I missed this around 3 years. But anyhow, so all the time I ask them to say more or less one word. Uh, it will be, I think it will be хорошо. That means good in Russian. And one by one, they all pronounce these words. And in many cases, what I found, uh, um, I will answer a bit later. So I think that this is a little bit. This is variation, and some speakers will use one or another. And I would suggest that retroflex are actually more rare in the fluent speech. But um, it's possible that if you ask some Russian speakers to say something like mm, more precisely or speak to the child or something, it's possible, or to the foreigners for some reason, Russian suppose maybe it's everywhere. Everybody suppose that if you if the foreigners just don't understand you, maybe just slow make your speech slow, then this person will definitely will understand you. So maybe this situation will cause Russian to speak like syllable by syllable, and there it's possible to spot more tendency to retroflex version. So in most cases, what I've heard was хорошо with the non retroflex sh. But it's possible to, because some speakers will do хорошо, sh all the time. This is also weird because, for instance, in Russian we have also palatal version of this. So we have sh, and we also have sh, um, and those are different sounds. Um, so this also possible to, so the more or less the same distinction is present in Polish, for instance, but in most cases Polish is described as having retroflex, not alveolar. So and again they have more or less the same story, but it appears that in Polish this is more like it's more frequent. The most frequent type will be retroflex, and this is also a nice feature because it corresponds actually because they have the same distinction in Affricates, because this is more or less like Saline feature for Polish across all Slavic languages, because they distinguish not only sh and sh, but also they distinguish ch and ch. So having this all in mind, the Polish phonetician will describe Polish as a having retroflex because they actually have tendency to have sh, not sh. In Russian, I'd rather say that it's more like that its tendency to have uh, sh and not sh. But in all phonetic classes that I had, I think one or two people out of 20 will use a retroflex version. And this is long, but I think complete answer. It's actually everything that I think about this topic. Here you are. Um, Sorry, no, I don't want to share. I wanted to see the chat. Um, Java. I Um, okay, Aisha's question is actually a little bit tricky, and maybe she has a nice thing in mind. So the idea that since retroflexivity, let's say, is the when the tongue is going backward, tip of the tongue going backward, maybe ah, since during the pronunciation of ah, we move our tongue body to the back, this will influence the tip position. I would rather, if this was in mind, it's really nice that you combine those two things, but I think that you're wrong because tip of the tongue and body of the tongue are connected, but they connected, but not so much that moving body parts backward will influence something like movement upward for the tip because it still can be everywhere. And I would expect that it moving backward, it more like stay in the calm position, not like doing some weird thing. Um, so if this was in your mind, Aisha, it's nice move, but I think that it's wrong.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was kind of my thought process, but I guess, yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. You have so you have I don't know, little star sticker for me because this is really of nice way of thinking. So this is really good. So and star stickers goes to Aisha today, but maybe somebody else will achieve something like this. And another question, sure, sure.
No, I mean not isho, but isho. Isho. Like when you say it like
Sure.
this, isho. It is certainly like you
I still
roll. Yeah.
I still
I mean,
think
it's
that
like sh and sh and sh. It's that's the difference between
yeah,
retroflex and okay, yeah. So I say it. Thank you.
sure. I would never say it, but
I don't know. I have heard this form as a joke. So somebody said this like yeah in colloquial speech. So it's not like very present.
yeah, but sorry, I can recall. I think that I've heard something in this, but I can recollect what kind of pronunciation were there. I didn't notice. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, this is a really nice question. Thank you. Maybe, maybe I can even give you a star sticker for this. Um, it may, yeah. Any other questions? Okay. If you don't have any questions, I will start sharing. Uh, and thank you, Alexandra, for coming to the Zoom conference because searching for the Zoom conference is really a pain. But then for some reason, my Zoom messages going to the spam. That is true. That is correct. But I use it as a finding where is the conference in order to find it. Okay, so here at I think our page, and on this page you can see the previous video and our lecture 5 and lab 5. So you can download it from here. And I thought that I've already done it. This. Um, and today I wanted to talk about different phonation types and about Bob's trends. Actually, all the time before we discussed some nice sounds because it was vowels, sonorants, they all more or less regular in the sense that they could be represented as as this sum of signs, as we discussed during the first lecture. So this Fourier transform and so on and so on. Today we'll talk about irregular sounds. They still can be mm, decomposed to the simple sounds, but they are a little bit more. So there are some features that we need to discuss about them. But phonation first. Oh, and this is nice that I actually had have this previously slide. So previously we've discussed waves and Fourier transform and tube model. So after this we discussed vowels and decided that vowels could be represented as a tube. Fourier transform could help us to decompose it into um, some frequency band where we can see the intensity. So in some frequencies, for instance. And these regions with the higher intensity in vowels we call formants. Um, then we discussed sonorants that really make everything more complicated because uh, some of them are just look so they are resemble some vowels in their behavior. Some of them are more complex, like I don't know, nasals, for instance, and laterals. And today we'll continue with these three topics. So, airstream mechanisms, phonations, and obstruents. And the next time, I want to say that the next time you will spend two classes with Inna Zibir discussing something, and I, I, I hope that you will enjoy it. So, airstream mechanisms. It's possible that in this chapter that I asked you to read before our classes was something about it. The idea that it's actually so human body can produce sounds in different way. Um, and so the most common way is this aggressive versus ingressive distinction. When aggressive are those sounds that produce when you breathe uh, air out of your body through mouth, and ingressive are actually rare cases when it's the opposite situation, when you actually um, inhale some air, and during this inhale you produce some sounds. uh, there are also different thing that called source of the sound production. Pulmonic is something that connected to the our lungs. So pulmonic aggressive are those sounds that we use air from our lungs through a vocal cord and oral cavity, and this is actually majority of sounds that produce people produce during their speech. The opposite thing, also pulmonic, is using your lungs. Uh, the opposite thing is really rare, but sometimes you can find. In Russian, we can find something like like this, and this is like surprise or something. Uh, Probably in English we have two, and maybe we have a link here. Here is a link to the web page of the person who actually uh, researched a little bit those ingressive sounds and created this kind of map, saying that for white probably there is no any information, but when we have some kind of green, they have different scale that you can see here in the legend. So um, so this light green is ingressive phonation mentioned, for instance, when we have pain or surprise, as I um, presented as an example. So this, when, for instance, Russians say something like, it could be like, when you frightened or something, but it could be, and then when you surprised or you're happy or something. Um, there is something that called paralinguistic sounds used, for instance, in Japanese his. Maybe this one, but I don't know. I think sometimes we can find is like, again, this is writing or I don't know, something this. Um, I think this is present in English. It should be. Maybe in Russian, I'm not sure. Maybe it's present in more in Russian, but it's kind of borrowing from other languages, I guess. Single words are pronounced ingressively. For instance, Swedish "ja." That actually, this is "ja." It sounds weird. I will share it with you. I think it could be fun here. Maybe we'll search like this. Swedish, yeah. YouTube. Kind of not what I expected. Hmm. Oh, this is strange. Maybe I put it in here. Is it possible? No. Maybe we have it here. No. No. There were some nice video about this. Hmm. Maybe I will search through this. Wait a minute. Sorry, I thought that I have a link, but I'm kind of unprepared. Ah, here it is. Um, yes, but I want to have a whole video. Thank you for sharing. So here it is.
Hey from Umeå, the biggest city in northern Sweden.
You can hear the sound, aren't you?
Yes, we can.
Hello.
Yes, we can.
Can you on from the video?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Famous for Stieg Larsson, the Northern Lights, plenty of snow, and an unusual quirk in the Swedish language. Let's check it out. That means yes.
Here in Umeå, we say
And that means yes. How do you say yes? Teach me how to say it.
say yes.
How do you say it? Yeah. Do you have to like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just if you have a mint in your mouth. It's like,
Okay.
like can you say it?
No. You're not shocked or scared or something. That's just.
No, I think maybe it's just an easy way to say it. You don't have to open your mouth and say ja. You can just.
What noise do you make if you are shocked about something?
Well, if I'm shocked, maybe I will go.
That sounded exactly the same as the other one.
No, it doesn't, because then I open my mouth like. And the other one is.
Okay.
So something like this. Hope that you like it. So they're doing something. And this is really strange. I think he's tricking that he kind of he thinks that it's the same, like, and I think it's definitely different. But those kind of things are exist. And probably out of here. So this is Swedish. Yeah. They also this dark blue. Oh, sorry, this dark green. When entire phrases could be produced, like in they claim there is a claim that Argentine Spanish could say or something like this. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe there is a case for doing something. And that's it, I think. So there's a nice website. I think he had some examples with sound and spectrum, and link to animals. I'm pouring out. So this is okay, this is another story. Yeah, okay. So let's keep here. Okay, so is it clear, more or less? So the idea that when we have aggressive or ingressive is just different in the where air goes. So if it goes outside, then it's so it's aggressive and it's most of the sound. When it's ingressive, it's rare, and some kind of strange things. And in most cases, it's not used as a like sounds of the language or something like this, but in some languages it does. Okay, cool. So the next part over here are Glutathic source of Airstream Mechanisms. So Glutathic is actually a bit complicated. Why do we have it here? Okay. So Glutathic, the idea of Glutathic sounds is, so maybe examples first. So imagine that we have P. In English, it should be aspirated, but in Russian it doesn't. So it will be unaspirated P. And then if we want to pronounce ejective, it will be P. So T, T, K, K, C, C, Ch, K, and so on and so on. So those sounds are adjectives. What the idea? So during the production of most plosives, you have some constriction in your mouth. For instance, when we have P, we just connect our mouth, our lips, and that's all. And then afterwards, we just doing something like keeping them together, and then they are separated. In adjectives, when we produce adjective sounds, it's actually a little bit different because it's looks like we have this constriction over here, but we also have a constriction in our glottal, we have kind of glottal stop in our throat. And then we're doing a tricky things because this part, when we have vocal cords, is actually going upward. So I think it's possible to show you with my over here. So imagine, oh, nothing changed here. But when I do something, oh, now I don't think that it's visible. Maybe I will do it like this. Oh. No, it's not visible, isn't it? I don't know. Speaker view. No.
I notice nothing.
Yeah. Should be.
But something in your like neck moves when you say so it's
that's
I don't
what
know.
I wanted to show. Something like p, p, k, 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 k,
Yeah,
k.
so a little back and forth, so something moving in your neck, little like
Yes.
when you say.
So I will do it like what? So imagine that I have something on my neck like this, and during the production it will go upward. Puh, puh. So it will do something like first closure over here in the lips, puh. Then the next closure. So first closure, second closure, then it goes up. So when it goes up, you will have this effect that the pressure in my mouth is higher. So actually, air goes outwards because it's the only place to go. So it's doing something like this, brr, brr, and then there's a burst over here with the mouth. Okay, so is it clear? Maybe with the boil it will be more clear, but this is the idea. And I can do the same trick for any sound. But the one feature, since vocal cords are constricted with the glottal stop, and it's not possible for them to vibrate. That means that all ejective consonants will be what? You can guess.
Voiceless, maybe you mean, or what?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's
So
impossible.
you can say go, something like go.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
So saying something like with the same stuff will be really hard because you need to vibrate and doing the glottal stop at the same time. And this is a little bit harder. And I think it's impossible at all. But another trick that when we do, it's another way around. So when we do, so now why I get it out, it's nice to use it here. So the idea that was that we doing the glottal stop and then it go upward. So doing like blah, and then I have release in my mouth and then release in this area. So like pew, and you have two pieces like of my this is my vocal cords, this is right one and this is left one. So during the production at Trill, I will do something p, so first constriction p, second, and then go up. Then this is released, so p, and then this is released, and then I can say pa, and so on. And this is really different from just pa. But the other way around, so when we have implosive sounds, we are doing, so the air goes through your mouth to the vocal cords. And uh, so this is another story since those sounds, implosive sounds, are ingressive. So air goes through the mouth to the vocal cords, not the other way around. Another story. So what I'm doing it. So implosive sounds are b, d, g, something like this. Maybe g, g, g. Not so cool, but g, definitely something that I expect. What I'm doing, first part, I'm doing simple b. So, so I have constriction here. But after this, I'm doing the tricky stuff. I'm doing, again, vocal cords, right, left, connect them, and moving downwards. So what the effect we have here? Pressure is lower than outside of my mouth. So air from outside of my mouth wants to get there into my mouth. And after I'm doing this, I release it and it can vibrate. And air goes outside and go through the oral cavity to my to my vocal cords, and they vibrate. So as a result, all implosive sounds are voiced. At the same time, adjectives are all the time voiceless. Okay? So is it clear? Something in chat?
So we should pronounce this like like you hiccup a little bit. I don't know how to explain it.
I wouldn't say that it's. I would say that hiccup is more like for adjectives, because when we have abba, abba, ado, it's like it's the common sound, and this is voiceless. You don't have, so it's possible to have vowel, implosive vowel. That means there is no any pauses there or anything. So it's definitely not like hiccup. But for adjectives, you should have it. So it will be up, in this part. Ka. So then, if you're asked about adjectives, then yeah, maybe I will agree. But when we talk about implosive sounds, no, it's not like hiccup at all.
Could you say like several times like adjective B and implosive B to I want to like catch a difference.
Appa, 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 abba, abba, abba.
Just like up.
Atta, 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 adda, adda, adda. But I think we can use those guys.
So you need to breathe in the air when you're pronouncing.
So for implosives, yeah. Maybe they have some examples. No, they don't. I think they do. Let's move here. Ask me later. And here.
Abba, abba, eb.
And those are implosives.
Ada, ada, ed.
And these are adjectives.
Up, eep, e. Ak,
So something like this. Oh, sorry. If you mean it looks like this MRI, MRI. Sorry. We will have today even more worse things. But yeah. But I will say it in advance so you can turn off your computer or turn off from your computer or something. Sorry for not saying it in advance. I thought that it's not hard.
I ask a question about those MRI thing. On the video, this woman, like during the speaking, she has something in her throat which is moving. Are those things vocal cords, like opening and closing?
I mean, this one?
We don't see anything.
Okay, sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry. Over here.
Like yes. Mm-hmm.
But that what I would say that those are vocal cords over here. And this is uvular.
Okay, thank you.
Can you repeat what is that? What is above her? Yes, here. Mhm.
Uvular. Uvular. Uvular is something that you can see when you open your mouth and scream, and it will vibrate like this. Actually, it's not doing this for some reason. It's the common technique to show it, but it's not showing. Uvular is some part of the.
Это небо? Ну, небо должно
No,
быть.
it's not nyoba. It's in Russian. It's the same. It's uvula. So it's the back part of your. How do you do it?
Sasha says it's язычок. But
Yeah, I don't know. I always called uvula like in colloquial speech is a choke. I don't know why.
But I think it's
this one?
Yes.
So this is kind of wow. Why is it green? So for now, it's more or less safe, I hope. But guys, please close your eyes if you're afraid of these things, because it's possible to make something horrible, to see something horrible here. Maybe I would like this kind of picture. So this is
конкретно та штучка, которая висит.
Yes, but actually it's not doing that hanging during the speech production. In most cases, it goes upward in order to close this hole. Because after this, if you close this hole, nothing is going to nothing goes to the nasal cavity. And most sounds are not nasals. Maybe this one is also nice. No, this one is nicer. Okay, so what we see here is that this is uvular, and during her speech production, it's colored. It's colored when they make a contact. So at the beginning, you see that it become white in this part, and this is because uvular goes up and close space to the nasal cavity, close the nasal cavity, and another white thing. Oh, this is exact time that I wanted. And here, this is vocal cords connected. So we see those two things in the same time. Is it clear? More or less clear?
If you ask me about язычок, yes.
Okay. Okay, so next question, is it clear distinction between implosives and injectives? The difference is only where the closed vocal cords go. if they are going upward, then they reduce space, and in order to do this, it want to make more space. If it goes down, it increase space and it want to make it normal. So if you make it close and then it became normal, this is adjectives. If you increase the volume, then it will want to go normal, but the absent air, let's say, it comes from the outside. Okay. And the last thing, last but not the least, are this that call Valeric here, and the only thing that presented here is clicks. I'm not good in producing.
What is occurring, everybody?
I'm not good in producing clicks, but I will use some teacher. So clicks are actually sounds that present in some Bantu languages that are in the contact with the Khoisan language family that is in the south of the Africa. So all Khoisan languages do have clicks, and some Bantu have had the contact and borrowed some of them. I think we can skip. Go here.
English, so I should teach you that in the next lesson. And then you have the X's, which is right. So like you'd say, flat. So that's you put it flat. It's just the tip of your tongue. Okay? Flat, 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 flat. So that's easy. Fa, three, or two. Okay? Basically, and also how we pronounce our vowels is kind of slightly, it's a bit different from English. So I should teach you that in the next lesson. And then you have the X's, which is right. So like you'd say if you're riding a horse and go, to get the horse to go. So it's quite easy. It's just place your tongue on like to the side of your molars. Okay. And then you have the Q's.
And Q's are horrible. So just be prepared because it's something like really complex. I can't pronounce them.
The Q's are pronounced, all right? So that is A, O, U. It's almost like it's like a whiplash almost, or like, using your tongue. So you go like, see how I place my tongue on the of my mouth. It's like, I don't play, it's not totally flat. It's just the tip of my tongue. Not completely flat. A, O, U. So if you could make a video response to this one to see how well you.
Okay. So those are sounds. I hope that you were impressed. Maybe it makes sense to look here. What do they have? And they don't have the most complex. Maybe they have. Oh no, this one should be it. No, it's not. Okay, so what's going on during the production of the clicks? Again, I will use my hands. Imagine that this is a palatum, and this is velum. This is palatum. These are teeth. So maybe, well, maybe it's not so. So imagine that this is like my tongue. So what's going on, that we are doing something like this. And then we're doing more or less the same that we've done with the vocal cords before, because we are doing something like this. And when we're doing like this, we actually increase volume there. And as before, air wants to get there in this space. And you probably can do more or less the same. So if you do something like this, you will get some sound. So I'm connecting my hands, and then I'm actually connecting them, and then trying to separate them like this. And after, after when there is any hole, when there is appear any hole, air goes there, and more or less the same is going out in the mouth when you reproduce, and so on. Okay? And those are clicks. Is that more or less clear? Okay. Let's move on. So now I wanted to present a really weird videos because they made with the camera that was go through nose and show what's going on in vocal cords. This is not really nice thing to look at. So if you're afraid of those things, please go away from your computer for a moment. So I will show different phonation types, and those types are, first I want to discuss them, probably it will be better. Here I have examples of 3 phonation types. First, model voice is just usual vocal folds vibration. Creaky voice is something that you can find. It actually became stereotype in, I think, in the North America, in North America English. So it's like there are some videos on this, and probably we can find some. And breathy voice is something that you can achieve just going upstairs to the, I don't know, 15th floor by foot. So after this, you will have this breathing problems. And when you try to say something like this, you will achieve something like breathe voice. And in some languages, they use this as some distinction feature. So now here it goes. Weird videos. Again, please your turn off from your computer if you don't want to see it. You will okay. So what we can see here, it's actually vocal cord, another vocal cord, and this is actually something that we can see beneath. So this is epiglottis area and so on. It's a little bit more complex, actually, but we can look at this.
Do that soft. Working. Very well. Take a breath. Do it loud.
So what can we see from here? is that during the modal voice, vocal cords are just vibrating, and what you can see, I don't know why it's because what you can see is appears to be like really slow, isn't it? And I don't know why, because it's possible that so the idea that the frequency of the vibration is really fast, so it's impossible to, to see with bare eyes like what's going on there. But in order to see like those separate single vibration, you need to really slow this video and see it there. But if you're not doing this, you can see this slowing effect, but it's actually like 4 or 5 times faster. Okay. So okay, so I need to announce for those people to when people can turn back. I think now is time for getting back for a moment. So the creaky voice is actually again, it became popular, and for some reason it's really hard for me to mimic this. Tell me more. Something like this. So when you
I can demonstrate Creaky Voice if you'd like.
Oh, please, Sydney, please.
It's just essentially where you hear these kind of bumps in between each and every sound. So it sounds like you're kind of talking with a croak in your voice, which is essentially what Creaky Voice is supposed to be.
Thank you. So for some reason it became popular in North America. Maybe it spread, and maybe it's actually get popularized there. I don't know. But for so the idea that that you not so in order to make vocal cords, vocal folds to vibrate, you need to make them together. But it's possible to make them together, but not like close enough. And in that way, they will be oscillate as before, but the area of the connection will be less. And this actually influenced. So, for instance, the most popular thing for creaky vowels is sorry, for creaky voice is vowels, so the most popular target. But it will be spread through the whole syllable and maybe even word. But for creaky voice, it will be something that if a vowel is something like regular, when we have creaky voice, it become really unregular. So it looks like they break down those regular phases of the vocal cords vibrations. Please turn off from the computer because now we'll have really short but more or less the same video. So it's not like it's possible you can turn to your screen. So it's not like so during the model voice production, as you see, as you remember, we all the time can see those vocal folds. So they were really long and wide in the middle. But when we see creaky voice, it's not like it's not so strident through. So it's not it's actually more like loosely behave there. And the last weird video, it's go now. So please turn off your computer if you don't like it. Now you can get back to your computer. And breathy voice, it's again, If creaky voice, then they have contact, but they are not so tightened. When we have breathy voice, they don't have much contact. They still vibrate, but they are not in the contact. And because of that, air go through there, and you can see this breathing voice scene over there. Okay, so I think we can move forward. Here is the list of different phonation types. It's a little bit bigger. I hope that you pay attention to this slide. Here we have different letters for different position, and we see that when everything is straight, here vocal cords are straight, and there is no any room for vibration, and this is glottal stop. When it's possible, when it's loosely connected, like in B, the air can go through the closed vocal folds and produce creaky voice. When we have vocal folds connected and they are tightened, but it's possible for them to vibrate, then it will produce some modal voice. Breathy voice are produced when there is some room between our vocal cords. And here in E we have voiceless sounds, so they are just pulled apart, and there is possible for air to come through them, and they won't vibrate during this air coming. So it will be all voiceless sound. And it's possible to even pull it apart further, and it will be aspiration like in t, k, or other sounds. Do you have any questions? Okay.
I have actually, while we were watching the videos, I actually could not understand what is was this like light purple thing with ну вот то такое светлое, что было, открывалось, закрывалось. И на самом первом видео это было. И оно вибрировало. Это что, vocal cords? Нет?
Maybe I will go back and there will be weird videos. So if you don't like them, to turn it off. Oh, there is a lot of different thing in chat.
Вот это вот такое фиолетовое посередине.
Okay.
This.
Not this, but this.
Yeah.
Maybe I will annotate. It will make it clearer. With green, for instance. This is one vocal fold, and this is another vocal fold.
Vocal folds. Okay. Thank you. I was suspecting that, but I was not sure because I never saw them. Had never seen them before. I mean,
you can actually look through this. It's not so clear, all drawings and stuff. This is, maybe it will be useful to look this video because I really like it, but it shows you what's going on there, and it have weird sound, but we can look through this. It will say how many joints and parts we can see over there. So first out the bones, different bones that we had. And this is what we call probably, so this is the part that increased in males. So this is Adam Apple. I'm not sure that it's the same. So maybe I'm just translating it from Russian, but this part over here. So this person is actually what looking to our left and maybe more to our way. So like this. So there are different bones over there. They're connected. And then after this, there are different muscles. You can turn off music if you like. And so for now, it's not important muscles actually for us. These are important. And here we have this part 3 that is actually about the how to produce vocal sounds with our vocal folds. So here are they. So this is the left one. This is the right one. So it's inhales. It whispers something. They present sound, so like sound with this different string thing, but don't be confused. And so you can tide it up or down, and it will be higher or lower pitch. Higher pitch. And those are other muscles that you can use, and they are not, they are connected, but they are not those muscles. Something like this. Is it more clear? I hope it make it clear.
If you
Okay.
ask me again, it's clear.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the only North American speakers of English do this. Not anymore. It's spread through all English community. Yeah. Mm, because it was weird because I had a friend during my university time. I had a friend, and she grew up in America, but then she moved to Russia and go to school and university there, and she had it. And suddenly, suddenly I realized that she do this, and then some other my friends start doing this, mimicking. I don't know, maybe consciously, subconsciously, more or less this thing. So maybe it's contagious or something.
I've always heard that vocal fry is like a thing that almost everybody does without realizing, because it's not as noticeable. People say that it's really noticeable, but actually it's done almost unconsciously and like it's undetected in speech almost. Like I'm doing it almost every other word I say right now. And I'm not even noticing that I do it until I listen to how I'm talking. I wonder if I do it in Russian.
That's the nice thing. That's the nice thing that I think that Russians just don't do this.
Yeah,
Even
not
if
sure.
they do maybe if you're really trying you can do this, but you
Ну
need to
вот,
be really trying.
это возможно, что я вообще сделаю на русском? Да, я вот и сделаю на русском. Это странно.
But actually, in Russian, I have not noticed that in Russian when you were speaking Russian.
Yeah,
But when you were speaking English, I noticed.
I can feel it when I speak Russian. I don't know if it's noticeable, but I can feel it. I'm gonna pay attention to this more now.
Okay. So this is the story. Where we are. Yeah. So then back to the. So how many time we have? We have more or less. No. We have 2 minutes. Okay. 2 minutes is okay. So first thing that I wanted to say, back to the boring theory. So Larry Fogett 1971 suggested that there is no actually phonation types like difference because it's more like a scale. So it's like most open or most closed, and those are different placed on the scale, but for when you have real values. So voiceless is most open, then you have breathy, modal, creaky, glottal closure, and so on. So it's not like you can categorize them somehow to the this is this, this is this. But this is the scale. In that case, it will be more or less gradual changes in the spectrum and everything. Okay. And here is some example of what? Yes, this is a periodic energy that we discussed. It's not like clearly visible, but it's more or less visible. So here we have cycle, 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 everything cool. Here, it's not so intense, and this not so those cycles are not visible over here. So no, sorry. Pay attention to the scale because it's different on the spectrum and on the oscillogram. Here it starts more or less aligned with this. So it's like this part. First several cycles and several cycles over here. So as you see, they are not so visible. Like, okay. This is different between creaky voice and, breathy voice and modal voice. Creaky voice is non-regular. So as you see here, here is the formant, here is the formant, but between them, there is something like it broke, it a little bit broke. So you see periodic, so you can follow those, maybe I can do like this. So follow those lines. Cycle, 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 break, broken cycle, broken cycle. So here's the area between different cycles is increased, so it's broken cycle. We expect something like 5 cycles within this range. Broken cycle, and cycle again. And this is creaky voice. And I think this is all for phonation types. And we can get back to obstruents after the break. So see you in 10 minutes. I think I corrected the link. I've sent a link to the chat. Okay. And I think that I found, oh, it's not working. I think within a minute, it will be updated on the website. So the link will be corrected. Okay. Oh, there are more people. Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Sorry for being late.
It's okay, no worries. Everything's fine. We discussed so much things. Okay, so do you have any questions about previous part? Because the next part will be first theoretical and boring, and second actually repeats what we've done on the previous seminar. Okay, so let's go to the things. Blah, blah. So I think maybe now. No, it's still not updated. For some reason, GitHub pages are slow in updating. Oh, maybe I'm a little bit stupid. I updated it here and here. Yeah. No, I updated this. I expect that this will be updated soon. But for some reason it's not. Okay. So anyhow, I hope that you've seen the link in the chat. So, yeah. And this link should work. Wow, that's what I didn't expect. Okay. And okay, here it is. So we discussed different phonation types and Airstream mechanisms. So we can move further to different types of obstruents. They are actually more or less the same, but they are a little bit different. So what we discussed that all consonants could be divided into obstruents and sonorants. And sonorants could be divided into trill and tap, like r, r, or tap like t, like in better, but American pronunciation like better, when we have something like better. Approximants like central when we have y, w, r, or lateral like l, or retroflex r, or nasals like m, n, ng, and so on. It's also possible to see that the opposite part is obstruents. Sonorants are those guys that are produced with the something like more similar to vowels, and obstruents they don't. They are not similar to vowels. And they are divided into several parts. So first it could be stop. So this is when we have something like closure everywhere in our oral cavity. And then after a while, it's released. That's all. And this release is sometimes accompanied, this release part is called, so it's actually, we can see something like burst part, and then it's possible that what we important what we see after the burst, it could be different things. So fricatives. Fricatives, we just have more, like we have restriction, some constriction in our oral cavity, and then after this constriction, we use this constriction as a like small tube, so we can go through air through this, and it will be hissing, hissing, and some kind of things. So fricatives are f, like waist, or they can be sibilant, so s and sh. Actually, sibilants are a little bit different from all other obstruents because they are like more powerful, let's say, because they have more power during their production, and they are more saline than, for instance, th and others. And we can also have affricates, and those are actually combination of stop and fricatives. So if we have stop and fricative of the same place of articulation, then go on, then you have affricate. There is some exceptions, actually. So there are, so for instance, ts and ch, they are actually kind of have the first part is similar, it's t. But again, it actually assimilates to the place of articulation of s and sh, and so it's backhand or fronted accordingly. Another version could be the fricative, like th, so lateral fricative, th, and th, something like this. Th. But it's also kind of the same too, because the th is produced with the in the same configuration as t, but the air goes around the tongue, so it's th, th, but it could be one-sided or two-sided, but anyhow, the configuration of the tongue is more or less the same as t. So this is like exception of the place of articulation or homorganic rule for affricates. But it's better to think as some small portion of obstruent of stop and some portion of fricative, and then you have affricate. Okay, so obstruents are obstruents use aperiodic noise in order to exploit the aperiodic noise during their production. So this aperiodic noise could be really short for stops. So for instance, p, d, or even like not visible at all, like in some voiced consonants, it's possible not to see. So for instance, when we have da, it's possible not to see the boundary between d and a. You can see the boundary between closure and its release, but it's but the boundary between voiced consonants and vowels could be tricky. Okay, so it could be, so this aperiodic noise could be really short for stops. It could consist only of aperiodic noises like in fricatives. And since affricates are just combination of stops and fricatives, it's just the same. So it will be silence at the beginning or filled silence at the beginning. So closure period, and then it will be just longer period, short in some period of fricative, but both will be a little bit. It's actually all will be a little bit shorter. So it's not like, so there is a distinction between combination of stop and fricative and affricate itself. So for instance, in Russian, or maybe I'm telling bullshit. No way. So imagine that we have in Russian word atsist. This is a real word that means sit somewhere else. And here we have a combination of t and s. So if we want to make, it's possible to put there atsist, and this will be kind of fiction non-existent word, atsist, in order to produce something like affricate-like atsist. What are real examples? There should be some, but I can't think of them. Maybe some smart people in the chat do some best work for me. No, they don't. Pity.
What kind of example are you looking for?
I'm looking for an example when we have a distinction of a combination of stop and fricative opposed to affricate. Okay, I stopped thinking about it.
Well, maybe I'm not okay. I forgot Russian for a second. What if читать и oh no, I don't know. Читать. Is there a word like that? Like I need to think more. I think. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Считать is the wrong example because it's actually a combination of two fricatives. Читать and отсчитать. That would be nice. Yeah. I think it's отсчитать and отчитать и отсчитать. No. Отчитать и отсчитать. Those are different. I don't know what does it mean. Отчитать. So он отчитал его в суде с ног до головы, что бы это ни значило. So he was, I don't know how to say, because it's a non-real word in Russian. I think there are some real examples, but the distinction will be more or less what I meant. So отца when it's combination, and отца when it's not when it's affricate. But this is really hard to formulate, and I'm not sure that it's like not some feature of Russian, and maybe other languages are made differently. Yeah. Okay, so I want to move on. Is it clear distinction between plosives, fricatives, and affricates?
I wanted to ask about sibilance or
Sibilance.
Yes, what is a feature of them?
Those are just anything that contains s or sh.
Oh.
I know that stresses in different places.
Yeah, it's not nice, but I think I like your player.
Улучшить, like to make better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And улучшить, it's it's hardly translatable, but it should be something like take some.
Maybe Anya meant
It
that
depends on the context.
улучшить, maybe it is spelled
It doesn't matter. Like, I got it. It doesn't matter how it's
I mean, it should be written differently. If yes, tell me, because I know.
But anyhow, if the stress will be more or less the same, it will be fake word again, but it will be улучшить and улучшить.
Yes.
Stupid name.
I really spelled it.
Улучшить and улучшить. But they are not the same. Like ch is the soft one, and the ch is actually like not not totalized as ch, so it's not nice example. But it's better than nothing, you know. Okay, so you asked about sibilance. What's the important thing about sibilance? It's everything that it contains s or sh.
And so
Okay.
I would that maybe there is some feature which connects them.
You know, there is a feature that they have really intense. They are both really intensive, and they have like this this intenseness go not through the whole. So it looks like that some fricatives like some frequencies. So you have noises, but in some frequencies. And sh and s, to opposed to other fricatives, are more powerful in that way that they have their own profile. Because in most cases, for h, for, or anything else, it will assimilate to all to surrounding vowels or consonants. So it will take features from the spectrum information from surrounding sounds. Sh and so will have more or less they changes. They can change. Sorry, they can change, but they have more or less fixed profile. And again, it's possible to see, but again, they have some space of randomness. We even wrote a paper about it with Inna, trying to somehow catch this variability. But I think that I already showed you this last time about S. But yeah. Okay. I hope it answers your question.
I got only the information about that they have the same frequency in pronouncing them. Yes.
Yeah, so the so sh starts from the more or less 2000 hertz upward. S starts from 4000 hertz upward. Or maybe the other way around. No, this way. Oh. Отшумевший и очумевший. Natasha, you need to think about the palatalized, not palatalized things, because ch
yes.
is palatalized and ch is palatalized. So the only thing that you can do is ts, or it's possible to use ch, but in order to do it, you need t and sh. So отшумевший or something like this. Okay, so back to the sibilance. So they start from the same range. They assimilate less. Why I use as all the time? They assimilate less to the surrounding sounds, and what else? And they really intensive. The intenseness of s and sh could be compared with the to the vowels. Okay. So any other questions about different types of different types of obstruents.
Can we look again at this picture?
Sure.
And how this sound is pronounced, which follows our trill tap, the second one, the second
Trill,
one.
it's r. This is r, and this is r in better in the word.
They're all basically r.
So we'll, yeah. It's also possible to imagine some new sounds. It's actually also there is a bilabial trill. So it's somewhere in South Africa or South America. There is also something that maybe I will claim once about is that there is something that called epiglottal trill. Epiglottal. So it's so something like trilling. You can hear something thrilling or trilling there in those sounds. So this group is just something when you have regular taps, except this one. So trills are when you have this trilling, and tap are actually when you have a small one hit. Oh, sorry. Any other questions?
I thought they are like names interchangeable, like trill and tap. No.
Maybe. No. Actually, there is a tap flap distinction that I can catch. I for some reason it's uncatchable for me. Tap and flap. Oh, there is a application for. Wow. No. I wanted to go there.
But why do we speak about flaps if we spoke about trills and taps?
Because they are connected. Because they are in the same group for some reason in IPA. Do we know language Venda? No, we don't. Valpiri? No. I'm not a fluent speaker. Karang? Even don't know where it is. So, no. This can be, I can imagine this one, but I can't pronounce it. So the idea that you have simple, so when you have, so when we have a stop, for instance, t, p, we have something like long closure time. When we have tap or flap, they still doing like this and saying that maybe there is some explanation. Many linguists use the term tap and flap indiscriminately, but Peter Ladefoged proposed for a while that it might be useful to distinguish between them. Oh no. So this is like, so tap and flap is more or less the same, but trill and tap are definitely different thing. And from those sounds that are presented here, only this one is a tap. And all the others are trills.
But in what way their properties are different?
Sorry?
In what way their properties are different? А в чем, ну?
Okay, so the idea that here you have one hit and r is actually multiple pronunciation of this. And this is actually like this, but with the really, really short closure. So, for instance, imagine that I have ata. In order to produce ata, I actually do something like this. Ah, and this before there is a closure that is quite long. So in order to produce ata, even this without this doing it, it's really long. Even though I need to have some time there in order to have t there, and this is stop. But this guy is actually ara. So I'm doing more or less the same, but there is no any much closer over there. So it looks like I'm doing like barrel, and that's all. Okay. Are you happier?
Me?
Probably.
I understood the difference between first two, but not the last one. I mean, I understood everything you said, but I didn't understand why it is not. Why, like the first one and the third, they are trills, yes, and the sound which is in the middle is tap. I understand why the first is trill, because it's like you said, it vibrates for several times. Yes, it's like yes, but the last one, why is it different? In what way it is different from the second one?
So this is r, this is r.
Again, it's repetition.
Okay. And actually, there is no any variation of tap variant of this, so it should be. But I don't know.
I see.
I think we can summarize it like maybe I can change it. So I do new share and you see whiteboard, aren't you?
Yes, everything is white now.
Yes, that was intended. So maybe I think this is really important notion about. Imagine that we have vowel before. So I will try to draw a vowel. Imagine that this is a vowel. It's not nice vowel, but anyhow. Vowel. And probably I don't like this one. Oh, cool. It worked this way. So this is vowel. And then we have time annotation. And time annotation will be done with these guys. This is time annotation and don't care. Wow, no. I want a new one. Vowel and vowel. And then we can have multiple choices. So it's possible to have something like silence, then burst. No, it's too intensive. Burst. Burst. And then vowel again. And again, let's annotate this with. So this event, and this event. Let's go through them. And here we have vowel again. Here we have closure. And here we have burst, like here. Then we have something like post-burst area. It's not filled much, but it could be. And this is 2. So this is stop, simple stop. It's actually voiceless. Another option is to have something like really short. No, it's the wrong color. Here. So it's possible to have, I don't want to have lines. I want to have this one. So boom, 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 and then vowel. And then again, let's annotate this. Wrong color. So here is the burst, and then we have line, and then we have vowel, and then here we have burst. And actually it's possible to have multiple bursts, but don't care. So for now it's one burst, and this is oh, it could be complicated, but I think that I can, no, I can't write it here, but I can write it here. Let's have a look. Oh, I can't paste it here. Okay, but I can draw this letter. It will be like this. Sorry for, no, maybe we'll change the color. Blah, blah, blah. Something like this. Tap. Flap. Okay. And it's possible, I think it's possible to move. No, how to do this? This one? No. Okay, anyhow, let's continue with drawing with the brown. And it's possible to have multiple bursts. So it will be burst, 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 and then vowel. And this will correspond to something like this, and this will be a trill. It's better to annotate, but I'm not sure that we have much space for this, but I will try. Wrong color. Undo. Something like this. This our first burst, this our second burst, this our third burst, and then probably it's vowel. I had a feeling that it's possible to move, but I can't find how. No.
Why don't we just take a look at the actual spectrogram and oscillogram?
Yeah, it's possible to do like this. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. But let's finish with this. I think it will be easier to do like this. So here it's trill. So trill is multiple taps. And T is actually tap, but be after a pause. That's what I wanted to say. And I hope this is clear. Maybe looking at the real sound will make sense when we have Zoom. I lost you. Right here. So share screen, prot, open, read from, no, create a new sound. Arra. No, I don't like it. Arra. And I don't like this. Arra. Ata. 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 No, I don't like it. Ara. I do like this. Okay, let's go through. I don't like this. I don't like this. Arra. Ata. Ara. Yeah. And probably it's possible to do like this and like this in order to have it in one window. So when we see something like this is multiple bursts, then you can see this. So pom, 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 pom. You can see this, pom, 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 pom. And you see those repetitions. So we have, again, it likes, as I said before, it like vowel that actually just silent for a really short time, like this. When we have here, what we have vowel, and then we have closure over here, and then we have burst, and then we have new vowel, and then we have echo. I know it's not echo, it's just some air pressure. And here is example of tap. Hara. So it's one shirt like this one, but just one. Vowel, something vowel. Okay? And I hope it will answer your question if it was any doubts of understanding what is what. No, it's not the place where I wanted to go. And this is not the place where I wanted to go. Here we are. Okay. It looks like we're going just somewhere else, but we're actually discussing what's important for today's lecture, because we are discussing different types of sound and what constituent stops, because it's not so clear all the time. Here is this line about turbulence. I will skip it. Here is the slide about sibilance and what make them so special. But this is more articulatory features, not like so this constriction story is more articulatory, not acoustic one. Yeah, for non-sibilant, noise is not so prominent. This is important. It's also possible to model fricatives with this tube model and do some prediction about it as Font performed. I'm not sure that it's actually used in the real world, but You can do this. And that's mostly it. So the main articulatory posture during a stop is completely closure of the vocal tract, acoustic silence. And another thing that we actually didn't discuss, and I think this should be discussed now, since we have this complete closure, it's not true at all. It's possible to have something like abba. No, this is not what I want. Let's do it again. Abba. Adda. This is really nice thing that I found out about these kind of sounds, that it's really hard to, so you have something like period before a vowel. So when we have, so this is vowel, then
You
we
not
have,
show me anything.
sorry. I will. Something in the chat. Yes. Sorry. Share screen. Here it is. Okay. So here are two examples. Abba. Adda. So here we have then we have something that looks like that there is something is going on there since it's waist closure. Vocal cords are vocal folds are vibrating during this the production of those kind of sounds. So what you see is something like in really low frequencies, like around 60, 600. And I actually don't know why you actually can see something over here. But it looks like that everything is closed. And some what you can hear is just small pieces, but I don't know what is it, how to describe it. So when we have it, we have this closure, and this it's impossible to make this any longer. So any person, I think it's impossible. So for instance, if we have amma, I can do whatever I want. So for instance, I can make it amma. Why is it so? Because my nasal cavity is open, so go throughout your ear, through nose, and everything okay. When I can, if I want to do the same with the nasal cavity closed, so produce b, it's impossible to make it long. So it's possible to and then I do something like you need to see my face here. So I'm doing something like and then it's impossible to make it in any longer because it's a lot and you need some to make a release. And so that's what I showed you. So now I'm sharing the screen. So if you see the voiced plosives, you will see something like this. So there is something. It's not like total science. It's possible that this part will be filled with something. Then you see here small line, and I would say that this line is actual burst over here. Yeah. And after this burst, you can see small changes in the format, but then it's over here. So this is on. And the same here. And another thing that it's nice to show to you that it's possible to differently to, so I think on the whiteboard, when I presented to you this voiceless stop, we have this closure part, then burst part, and then vowel part. And during this burst part, it's possible to have multiple things. What kind of things we can have there? First, it's possible to have nothing. And this will be adjectives. So during the production of adjectives. It's also possible to have aspiration there. Then it will be, we can actually look at all of them. I create new sound. Up, maybe t will be better. Atta, 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 atsa, acha. Why the, for some reason I decided to make them adjective at the end. Atta, 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 adda, atsa, acha. Okay, too long, so let's remove everything that we don't like. Now spectrum appeared. Okay, so first thing, this. It's not what I wanted, but okay. Maybe this is a bad decision. It's too intensive and there is no. This is bad adjective. Sad. I don't want to have this as an example. So here, what we have here. Here we have aspirated. So vowel, then closure, then burst and aspiration. And aspiration and this irregular sound over here, it's irregular. You can see it from here. There is no any. So compare this to, for instance, vowels. They are not so beautiful over here, but here is the vowel. You see cycle, 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 cycle. So it's regular. So comparing to this aspiration is irregular, and this is like fricative or anything. What do we have here? Here we have something like, this is important because in English you have aspirated and non-aspirated, and those unaspirated are treated as a voiced one. In Russian we have different, we have unaspirated and voiced one. So it's possible that this one will be sounds for Sydney as a voiced one. This would be nice to check. Atta. Atta. But it's actually also a long one. Maybe it's better to say atta, just atta.
Could you play it one more time?
Sorry?
Could you play it one more time?
Okay. Atta. Maybe I will do like this. Make it shorter. Atta.
Well, that's really hard to over the microphone. It's really hard to hear. It sounds like right in the middle.
Okay. So the idea that here we have closure, we have burst over here, and the time between burst and vowel beginning is really short. And this is like characteristic for Russian or any other sound, when any other language, when you have this kind of stuff, that this part is really short and you don't have anything there. If you have anything there, then it's not voiceless. So this could be tricky for English speakers, but not the trickiest thing. And here is the something that we called voiced in Russian. And you can see that it's actually regular. So we can see, so we can zoom, but it's cycle, 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 cycle. It's not like wild as we've seen before. And the other feature that we have vowel and it ends, and through all closure, we have vibration. So vocal cords vibration. This is not typical because in most languages, people are lazy. Let's say, I'm joking. People are sometimes use something like they can start vibrate in the middle of the closure, so it will be like half voiceless, half voiced, but they treat it as a voiced one. So they can start from the middle or end, or start, break, start again. And this is something that I'm not good in producing, but you need to expect something like this. So even though you have something like labeled phonologically as voiced one, it's not all the time will be, here I would say that Russian here is ideal because it's vowel, then everything is voiced, and then vowel. So not everybody is so ideal. So it's important to remember that it's possible to not to have, or have some breaks in the closure area in voiced. And here it's atsa probably.
Atsa.
So as you see, this part you can see here and here, they resemble the effect of the vowel before. So you can think that this is kind of a vowel. So from this line is actually the end of the vowel, and what we see here is actually an echo. I don't know, it's hard to perceive, but it's echo. So echo with closure, and then something like fricative so starts over here. A really intensive, like, but it's really intensive, but it's definitely random. So you can't see any cycles over here, but you can find some cycles over here in the vowel. So it likes repetitions. Okay. And here is the same, but the again closure and then fricative part, and together they are not so long, so it's like 200 milliseconds. Okay, is it clear? And this is like, I would like to have it like, so this is like everything that I wanted to say to you about upstreams, and for some reason we didn't have much time for seminar. But I would like to emphasize the thing that it's possible to have this closure part and after burst part, and this is called VOT. We'll discuss it during the next classes, but I can share it with you. So this is really known notion, well-known notion that called voice onset time. And maybe it's even better not to look at the Wikipedia page, but go to the pictures. And look just okay, and look at the picture from the Wikipedia. Okay, so the idea that here is let's look here. So this is kind of fork that is repetition. It's actually vowel. So no, sorry, not it's not vowel. So it's uh, this is passive and active articulator. And during the vowel production, they are apart from each other. Then they they make contact, and then you see closure, and then releases when they go out of this contact. And for voiced plosive, during all of those things, you will have vocal cords vibrating. So uh, this thing over here is vocal cords vibration. Continuous. What does it mean? Oh, maybe yeah. Maybe I know what it's mean. So there's probably like Russian. So you have vibration, then you have closure, and then you don't have. No, it's not like in Russian. So then you have a closure, and then after the burst, you have vibration. This is weird situation, but it's possible to have. Mm, um, so you start vibrate only after the burst, and another is aspirated plosive when you have vibration, then closure, then release. But after the release, you're doing something like sound, and then you fill it with the sound, not with vibration, and then you lazily start vibrate, and then you get the aspirated plosives like ta. And those guys, voice onset time is actually like notion that became popular and used in order to distinguish different types of obstruents, let's say. Yeah. And maybe, but we can use this. It's hard, but anyhow. So what's going on? Voice onset time is time before vocal cords start vibrating from the release of the consonant to the vocal cords vibrating. I think this is a really nice picture. So when we have a fully voiced consonant, then during the burst, so here is the vowel, then constriction, then somewhere here a vowel starts. If vibration is go there, it starts after the, so here we have VOT values, voice onset time values will be negative because this line is treated as 0. Maybe I can annotate this. Over here. So you see that when a consonant is fully voiced, then vibration starts more or less from the beginning of the closure. And in that case, this will be fully voiced consonant. The value will be negative and equal to the duration of the burst. Here we have partially voiced. So here it's not voiced from the beginning of the closure, but from the end. Here you have voiceless or unaspirated, like more or less like in Russian. So all the closure is voiceless, but then when you start vowels, then vowel starts really early. You don't have anything after the burst. You don't much story there. There is nothing there. Just vowel starts. Then you have voiceless, and it's unaspirated because you don't have nothing. You don't have anything after release. And then, yeah. So here, the VOT value will be small or even 0. Then it will be voiced. And then if you have a greater value for VOT, so here it will be positive, small and bigger, it will be weak or strongly aspirated or weakly aspirated sounds over here. And this is VOT, or again, voice onset time. Okay. So is it clear?
I just think that schematically it is easier, but in fact, when you see real picture, it is more difficult to distinguish.
You think so?
Because its onset time is it is visualized schematically, yes?
Yes, yes, yes. But I think we can go and do the same stuff. Appa, abba, abba, atta, adda, adda. I hope it will work. I don't know. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is bullshit. I want to see the spectrum. What's not here? Please. Here you are. So let's go to the first one. What do you think?
I don't remember the picture.
Sorry?
I don't remember the picture.
Which one?
Which we analyzed.
This one?
Yes. Oh, cool. We speak about the first.
First what?
Because here are two sounds.
Even three, right? We have nothing, vowel, consonant of the interest, and then vowel. And the question is whether what is the VOT value for this this sound. I would say that here, maybe here. It's hard to actually to show, but I expect here to be a burst, so the VOT value will be more or less here. And this will be positive or negative?
Positive, probably.
Sure, positive.
But it's like
really small.
Yeah, really small.
It's really small, yeah, but positive. Why? So the first line defined by burst, the second line defined by start of the vocal cord vibrating. So here is something cyclic over here. So smallish. Okay, go to the next part. Here you are. Hamba. So over here you can see vowel, then we see consonant that is all the time. So it's cyclic all the time. There is no any pause. So it appears that I would start maybe from here. So the VOT value will be that much, and this will be positive or negative. Aisha, what do you think?
If I understand correctly, I think
Sorry?
positive. Hello?
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
So is
Okay,
this,
sorry. My internet is. I think voiced, if I understand.
yes, I agree. It's voiced, but I asked about the value of VOT. Sorry?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be positive. I think.
And you are wrong, because
Okay.
because uh, voice onset time is the time from the burst. Burst is here, and the vocal cords start vibrating over here. So if we treat this value as 0, this will be a negative value. Okay?
Can you explain one more time about negative and positive?
All the time we treat time of the release as 0 point, and everything that on the left of this point is negative, and everything on the right of this point is positive. But we have
like we have a burst, and what is on the right it is positive, and what is before it is before the burst it is negative.
Yeah.
Huh.
If you have vocal cords vibrating before, then it's negative, because a voice onset time is the time when voice became in the sound. It appears during the consonant production. And if it start vibrating before release, then the VOT value will be negative. If it's after the release, then the VOT value will be positive. But we have more examples here.
Can I ask a question? So why is it? Maybe it's a stupid question, but why is it important that we take the burst as the point of the 0? I guess. Because where do we come from? Burst. Maybe we already said that, but I think I forgot.
No. Because in this case we can. So what kind of point do you propose? We want to distinguish those 5 cases that we have here. If you start from the beginning, then you need to estimate this value somehow. So if we start from the beginning, we actually easily can distinguish one and all else. Why? Because if we don't care about release, we somehow need to distinguish this value in it, then it's not the universal. So it's not universal time for after, I don't know, 100 milliseconds. If you have a pause for 100 milliseconds, then it partly voiced. If you have 150 milliseconds, then it voiceless, and so on and so on. It's possible to use like this.
So in a way, if we have that sort of system, I guess it's pretty. So do we need it to like tell? So it would be easier to maybe. Why do we need this entire thing exactly? Like, is it easier if we use it to tell?
Why do we need VOT measure?
Yeah, where would we use it?
Okay. First, in our homework, sorry, it was stupid joke, but it also nice to know. It's after you can calculate this value, just comparing different values of this. So it's impossible to have a language with that will have all of this type. I think it's possible, but I don't believe that such a language exists. So what I expect that there will be 3 or 5 types of consonants in the language, and just simply measuring this, you will get statistically significant difference between them. So so instead of saying that I have this type of consonant and this type of consonants, you can justify this using some numbers and statistics. It's dirty answer to Aisha question, but but I think it's reasonable.
Okay, makes sense.
Because before we can just claim, okay, this language have this and this, and it's impossible to show it's some proof something like just calling something one type or another. And here we can distinguish. Okay, let's ask somebody else. So for instance, Natasha Lagvino, if I may. So could you say what will be the value of the, whoa, no, please, no. What will be the value of the VOT for this example? I will try to put it somewhere.
But by the way, we see it as a black rectangle.
Yeah, I know. This is chat. Don't care about it. Now you have everything that you need.
Yes. By the way, I can't remember how it sounds, but maybe it's not simple. But
Actually, this is the
not
trick
important.
that you don't need to know it.
Yes. Okay.
Everything is present here. So the only thing that you need to know is that it's vowel, consonant, vowel.
Yes, it should be negative.
Yes. Is it type 1, 2, or 3?
It's type 2, probably.
Sure. You're definitely right. So here there is a huge something. This is vowel, and another huge something is vowel. So everything between this is consonant. So if this is a consonant, then it's definitely have two parts. And it's possible that this is a burst or this is a burst. If this was a burst, then we'll see something across the whole spectrum. So we can't see any burst. So this is kind of voiceless and then voiced part. So this is partially voiced consonant. Up, ba. So it was up, ba. So I've never used it in any language. I actually studied some languages that have this feature, but that could you find. So as you see, this is closure. And during this closure, there is a voiceless part and voiced one.
But where is burst in this picture?
Here.
Here.
But it's hardly visible. When you have voiced upstreams, it's really hard to see the burst. Sorry, voiced stops. It's really hard to see the, because it's assimilates with the vowel and it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect it here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So something like this. Maybe we'll do another one. This is an easy one. Maybe Rahmat, if I may.
Umay.
Rahmat, if I may. It's possible that you're speaking, but we can't hear you. Okay.
Can I?
Okay, sure.
So I think it is strongly aspirated. It looks like this.
Okay. Over here.
Yes, this small is a burst.
Yes.
And it is strongly aspirated, yes?
I wouldn't say so. I would say it's not aspirated at all or slightly aspirated. So it's not much aspiration over there. Don't be sad. It's not a big deal. You can see that the burst is here, and if you have had aspiration, then it will appear like for really significant time. Maybe we can find some.
So,
Was there?
oi.
No. No, I didn't record any aspirated one. I've done this before, but
Can we look back how it looked?
we are looking there.
Burst?
So burst is here. You're right.
Yes.
Start of the vowel or start of the vocal cords vibrating is here. So you're right that the value of the VOT will be positive or negative?
Negative.
Why is it so?
Because
this is burst, this is 0, and then we start, it starts after this burst, so on the right side.
But can we now look at the consonant? What is consonant here?
Everything between vowels.
And we have burst at the end of the consonant.
Yes. First we have closure, then we have burst.
And it is?
So,
or no? Or I am not.
So here is the burst. And here is the beginning of the vowel. And vocal cords are vibrating there. It looks like there is more or less silence over here. So this is voiceless consonant with the small afterburst area. Okay? Is it? You're not still happy?
I'm thinking like, so it is positive because we have burst and then the release of.
Again, because we have, let's annotate, straight line. Time going from the left to the right. This point is 0. So everything that's going to the right is positive, to the left is negative. And you count every time you count after the burst. So burst is 0 all the time.
But the most part of a consonant is before 0.
Yes. But there is also no vocal false vibration before a vowel. So it looks like there is no any vocal false vibration during the consonant production at all.
Okay, I think that I should look like I should look at the picture where it is positive again to
Okay,
like
we can do this.
combine it in my head somehow.
Sure. Maybe I will close this. Okay, so we had sorry, now we have this example when it's negative. Sorry. Again, burst over here, and this is the whole closure, and it's voiced through all the time. You can see over here. Closure is here, 0. I can draw it again if you'd like. So vocal cords start vibrating far before this this area when we have burst. So then it will be, so again we put 0 over here, and the value will be negative. And the next example is really nice. It's really strange. I didn't expect that I can produce those kind of sounds. But again, burst is here, but the vocal cords vibration starts here. So this is, again, negative value. That will be minus 0.197 or something. Okay.
May I ask?
Sure.
So defining this BOT only makes sense when a consonant is followed by a vowel, right?
By vowel. Yeah, this is a tricky question because it's impossible to denote VOT when there is no vowel afterwards.
Yeah, like in a word открыть, for example. Like...
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's actually for открыть, it's impossible. So the only place that you can show that it's where you have burst and where you have the fricative part of s, because открыть is actually affricate.
No, but like I'm the first открыть, like.
Okay.
First, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's voiceless, it doesn't make sense. But if it's voiced, maybe it does. I don't know. Like it'll be just negative.
Yeah, it's a tricky question, but I think it's solvable for both cases. Because the idea that you want to know where it starts, if it doesn't start, you can treat somehow. So you have only this part. It's okay. Then it's voiceless. I think it's time to stop this for today, but I will keep answering your questions if you have any. So if you want to go somewhere, go somewhere. If you have any questions, ask questions.
I just wanted to pronounce some implosive consonants and to ask whether you can tell, am I pronouncing injective consonant or implosive? So I want to understand it. So could I try that?
Sure.
Because so when I say a and ba, so could you tell which one was which?
Sure.
A
first was adjective. First was adjective, and second was meant to be implosive, but it wasn't.
Okay, so could you pronounce like real implosive? Because I'm struggling with it. I'm trying, like theoretically, I understand that you meant to breathe the air in, but practically, I just can't
Yeah.
do it. So.
I think it wasn't class for teaching how to pronounce implosive, but let's say I would recommend you to do this. So when we have simple b, abba, we have this ab part, part. So imagine that I'm doing the same, but doing like moving my throat down. Abba,
Abba, abba, abba. Is it right? Abba. I don't know. No?
Sorry.
Okay, so.
No. Maybe here IPA or some, but it's really hard. If we, I think it's easier to describe when we are together in the same room. But yeah. So you need to, I think that what you're doing is you're not pulling down your throat. And this is why you're pronouncing just b, not b. 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 Sorry, but I'm not a specialist for implosives. You know, that should be meant in mind. That I've never worked with any language with the implosive, but my friends do, and it's possible that Tiny Mama will work with them, but I'm not sure. No, she didn't. Okay, any other questions?
If no one has, I wanted to look at the picture when we have a positive value one more time.
It's
I got about the negative one. Vibration of vocal cords is before the burst.
Sorry, you wanted positive or negative?
No. Yes, I wanted to look at the positive, and now I'm just saying that I got the idea negative.
This is positive.
Yes, but so am I right that if we have if vocal cords vibrate before the burst, it's negative, value is negative, and if vocal cords vibrate after the burst, it is positive. Yes.
Yes, but I would like to reformulate it like this. If vocal cords vibrate during the closure, it's negative. If the vocal cords vibrate after the burst, then it's positive.
And like I was confused because here we have burst, but after it is immediately a vowel, and I do not see vibration after the burst.
Yes, because sometimes it's hard to start vibrate just after the burst, but it's definitely the different case. So for instance, when we have apa, ata, something like this. So maybe you're still worrying about the aspirated. Aspirated will look like this. So here is the vowel, then echo, sorry. Then here we have burst, and then some fricative part. And when we have aspirated, this fricative part should be really sufficient. So here you see it looks like it's 1/3 of the whole sound. Okay. And here it's again positive. It's like with the highest value that we can. So it's like around 200 milliseconds. From the burst to the vowel.
Yes, okay, I see here I see vibration, but before I didn't see vibration. But
yes, because imagine that we have something like this. There is still a burst, but there is no any vibration. This is with aspiration.
So positive value is when it's also when a burst is not followed by any
Yes.
vibration.
You're right here. Yeah. Like actually on this scheme, I think represents everything like exactly what you're saying. So this is the release or burst, and this is VOT for aspirated. Here it's smaller, here it's 0, here it's negative with the small value, and here is it's negative with the high value.
But in all the pictures we have a vibration after the burst. But on the picture we...
Because we had the example of 3, because in our cases we had example of 3, 2, and 1, and I just didn't include 4 and 5. Sorry. But here is the picture with 4 and 5, and we can do those kind of tricks.
Но там же везде есть вибрация после burst, а на предпоследнем примере нет же ее. Совсем нет. Сразу гласный.
Yes, it's okay to have something like this.
But there is no such example in the picture.
Here?
I mean picture...
So I know what you want. You want to have something like, actually I make it up. You want to have something like this.
Yes.
Okay. This is what you see when you have adjectives. Because it will be oral burst and then will be glottal burst. It's not a good example. Because it's not adjective actually. But I can produce for you.
Да я же просто... Ой. Я же просто про то, что на наших картиночках везде вибрация после burst есть, а на этом примере не было вибрации. Вот поэтому я говорю, что I'm confused because of that. Because pictures are different from this case.
So this is really a rare case. So when you have burst and then you have nothing there, like this. I think that you're confused with this because of what you expect. I think that I get what was the confusion. So here on the plot, we have burst and then we have straight line as if there is nothing there. But this straight line just corresponds to the absence of the vibration. It doesn't mean that it's nothing there in this source. It's possible to have something there. For instance, aspiration. Or even it's possible to have actual silence, but it will be slightly become into power when we produce adjectives. So this kind of straight line means that absence of vibration of vocal folds, but not the emptiness in the spectrum. Akka, akka, akka. No, they're not so nice. My pronunciation, my adjectives, I don't like my adjectives, sorry. But I like adjectives produced by some other people. Maybe I have it here.
But maybe someone else can ask their questions if they are have them, because I'm still puzzled.
Yeah, that's really, I don't know how to help you, sorry. Because for some reason, I think that everything is clear and I can get.
So I see you can't get what I can't get. Может быть, по-русски будет понятнее. Я не знаю.
Maybe maybe after a while, because now it's 21:20, so maybe.
Yeah, but do we have to?
No. It's not what I want to say that it's too late, but I wanted to say that everybody can leave, and then we'll switch. Maybe with Ksenia, we'll switch to Russia. Maybe if it's make it easier. So maybe if you have any questions, please ask. And bye to those people who need to go.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
But do we have our homework for next Wednesday?
No, for next Wednesday, definitely not.
Oh.
Don't worry. В общем, что вы не понимаете?
Можно еще раз на картиночку посмотреть? Я просто... так, вот, если мы посмотрим.
Так. Вот оно.
Так. Ну, на картиночке показана вибрация согласного, правильно? Это же все согласный?
Нет. Это частично согласный, где написано C, а частично гласный, где написано V.
Все, тогда понятно. Все это время я хотела, чтобы согласный вибрировал.
Я понял.
Да. Все было просто. Я не видела эти буковки сверху.
Ничего страшного.
Вот. Поэтому все вот.
Тогда мы все победили. Все было так просто. Мы сделали из этого просто трагическое представление.
Ну ладно, you're so nice. Goodbye.
Окей.
Извините, а у вас есть какие-нибудь, я не знаю, может быть, примеры на имплозивном? Потому что мне действительно хотелось бы понять, потому что я вот сейчас пытался, не знаю, нашел, мне кажется, все возможные видео, в которых есть имплозивные эти звуки, и люди их произносят, но для меня они сливаются в один и тот же звук с иективами, и... Ну, то есть, да, и еще я, в общем, не очень понимаю, как они отличают звонкость и глухость, когда они произносят и имплозивные, и иективы, потому что мне кажется, что там какой-то нечто средний звук у них получается. Там трудно как-то это различать. Они еще постоянно с гласными это произносят, а с гласными это, ну, как бы легко, а вот когда они, как бы, звук по отдельности, это...
Можно попробовать воспользоваться той штукой, которая была в лекции. Вот здесь вот. И они говорят, что ссылка неправильная, но мы вроде научились попадать туда. Aspirated Plosive. Теперь мы сделаем трюк, а именно попробуем взять и записать, что они там произносят. Хотя на самом деле это тоже произносят не носители, а как бы люди. Это помните. Давайте посмотрим на...
Б, Б, и Би.
Я просто не понимаю вот такой момент. Там сначала происходит смычка глотальная, а потом происходит смычка губ Б. Или наоборот, что раньше?
Сначала губы, ну или зубы, потом гортанная, дальше гортань идет вниз и разрывается верхняя смычка, а потом гортанная.
Д, Д, и
Сейчас, то есть... А вы сейчас записали то, что она говорила, да, без помех, а то я там что-то путаю.
Да.
Да, это была не лучшая идея, конечно. Просто я никогда не анализировал прям имплозивные. Я не знаю, почему они вас волнуют, но идея примерно такая, что там все-таки есть голос все это время. И то, что это не какая-то часть гласного, ну, видно, вот здесь вот она сливается. В смысле, не сливается, а наоборот, ну, вот очевидно, что вот здесь вот что-то происходит, здесь что-то происходит.
Да.
Вот здесь вот происходит вот эта штука, которая есть, которая обратно абруптивным, потому что абруптивный устроен таким образом, что мы опускаем гортанную смычку, мы поднимаем гортанную смычку, и в результате, там, не знаю, смычка во рту разрывается. В результате это выглядит примерно так, что какое-то время нет никакой интенсивности, и там такая дыра. А здесь наоборот, и получается, что не дыра в интенсивности, а наоборот будет всплеск интенсивности на первую часть гласного. Вот.
Да.
И получается вот такой вот эффект тоже. Но это, конечно, будет отличаться от того, как она скажет «да» просто.
Да.
Можно записать тоже.
Да.
Но это если я возьму и убью вот это все, то вот ее «да».
Да.
То есть ничего не происходит, гласные примерно одинаково, правда, здесь какой-то эхо явный. Но вот здесь вот происходит движение, и, в общем, вот у нас есть «да». Еще он маленький почему-то здесь, ну, допустим, она так решила сказать. И вот у нас есть сбоку имплозивный. Вот эти первый гласный здесь, то есть там контекст такой же.
Да.
Но в результате вот начало гласного очень сильно выделено. Вот. Такая история. Вот это, наверное, все, что мы сможем увидеть прям по спектру. А остальное нужно просто копаться в их артикуляции, то есть буквально смотреть, как они это делают. И лучше все-таки носители, а не всякие лингвисты, которые этим занимаются.
Потому что, да, я, наверное, тоже не показывался ни разу. Да, но потому что я пытаюсь это все сделать, то есть я сначала смыкаю губы, нет, или «д», «д», «а», и потом вот так вот как-то я опускаю «д», «а», «ад», «а», «ад», «а», или это не то получается?
Попробуйте потянуть.
Вот так вот?
Видите, ну, давайте «б», мне кажется, проще «б». Аба. Это вы наружу.
Глубже
Вы
нужно
делаете.
Мне нужно выдыхать или как бы...
Вдыхать.
Ба. Нет? Я как бы вдыхаю.
У меня как-то, я просто научился, у меня получится так очень звонко, на самом деле.
Но у меня получается почему-то Г имплозивное. Гок, 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 гок. Нет? Или не то? Гок. Го, 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 го. Это то или не то?
Я просто не очень хочу быть судьей, потому что, опять же, я никогда не работал с языками, и, в общем, я только научился и живу в мире, что это нормально, но вот меня никто не проверял, и, в общем, я не хочу выступать таким учителем имплозивности, потому что я...
Ну да, ну не знаю, просто, ну, собственно, мне стало это интересно, потому что я смог произнести все эти звуки, кроме имплозивных, и мне стало непонятно, как это так, в общем, почему же все произносятся, а вот эти не произносятся. Ну, не знаю, может быть, со временем тоже произнесутся. Ну ладно, спасибо, это было интересно. Ну и я еще даже кликсы не открывал, хотя там, в общем, я кликсами потом.
Все они легкие, потому что мы их часто используем в обычном...
А это Ц? Вот такие вот?
Такие вот.
Как цоканье такое?
Да. Только можно еще сделать в задней части и задней частью языка.
Это кликса?
Да. Но кликс это все. Кликс это все, в смысле, что это тоже кликс, типа Нет, у вас ца там. О, вот сейчас получилось. Да. Ну, что-то такое, ну вот просто с имплозивными еще есть такая проблема. Почему я не очень хочу вас учить имплозивным? Потому что я сам не умею, потому что я могу их произносить более-менее только в каком-то вот типа аба, в таком контексте. Там проблема в том, что на самом деле там сложная история, потому что когда мы делаем гласный, имплозивный, гласный, там получается, что мы выдыхаем, выдыхаем. Да, понятно?
Сейчас. Я выдыхаю. Дальше Б. Я как бы выдыхаю.
И дальше должно быть что?
Как бы. То есть это как бы вот это вот как звук удивления такой. То есть я вот как ты так же должен вдохнуть, как бы.
Ну да, но только на согласном.
Как бы как бы Нет, это все просто Б получается. Ладно, извините, я не буду вас больше.
Да нет, все хорошо.
Ну ладно. А трансляция идет. Ладно, в общем, посмотрят.
Нет, я понимаю ваши чувства, потому что в какой-то момент на Кавказе у меня были большие проблемы с тем, чтобы научиться произносить какие-то звуки. И, в общем, до сих пор есть некоторые проблемы с некоторыми звуками. В общем, это большой челлендж. Все равно есть какие-то звуки, наверное, которые я не могу произносить. Но кавказский я научился. Так что...
Там палочка есть какая-то в адыгейском. Это что, это кликсы? Не знаю.
Нет, палочка – это просто обозначение абруптивных. Кроме тех случаев, когда это глотальная смычка, и кроме тех случаев, когда это, абруптивный латеральный, типа
Ну, абруптив – это эдиктив, да? Это одно и то же.
Да, это одно и то же. А вот в дагестанских языках есть то, что обозначается как г-палочка, и в большинстве языков это просто типа арабской хамзы, типа то есть типа
У нас какой-то глотальный смычка или гортанный
Нет,
смычка?
она не глотальная, она не смычка, потому что это фрикативный. В общем, вот такая вот история. И вот она по-разному устроена в разных языках, и иногда она устроена вот так вот, как я показывал сегодня на лекции, как вибрант даже, типа такой.
Это же какой-то французский, нет? Гарсон.
Ну, потому что вы уплыли пока только до уволы, типа типа а я делаю
То есть дальше уволы.
Да.
Куда-то в глотку уже?
Ну да. Эпиглотис.
То есть как бы заглоточный, не знаю, заглотальный, как он. Нет,
Вот
или
как раз
над.
эпиглотис — это единственное место, которое там вообще может вибрировать. Поэтому это называется эпиглотальный.
Мгм.
В общем, вот такая история.
Да. Я еще, кстати, нашел видео, где люди сделали такой, не знаю, софт интересный. У них, значит, здесь УЗИ, они вот сюда вот у них УЗИ, и значит, их софт умеет передавать на компьютер в режиме реального времени положение языка. Если я могу вам, может
Да,
быть,
да,
прислать
да.
видео. Или это вы знаете такое?
Да, я это
А,
даже делал.
а у вас тоже есть такой софт?
Нет, у нас нету лампы, но мы как раз с Инной несколько раз часто помогали людям, которые это делали в России, и участвовали в УЗИшной лампе. Там есть свои проблемы, которые мы будем обсуждать на занятиях.
Хорошо. Да, то есть это, не знаю, меня просто поразило, что можно прям даже вот в реальном времени, то есть, ну, МРТ это ведь как бы, они там просто черно-белое, да, вот там человек сидит, у него все как бы человек как человек, и вот только язык там показан
Там
в
вот
его
проблема
движении.
будет ровно в том, что только язык. Потому что непонятно,
Да,
что,
глотка
там, например, что
проходит.
происходит с горлом, непонятно. То есть нельзя там как-то, например, взять и посмотреть. Просто потому, что там чертовы хрящи и кости.
Ну, а еще добавить УЗИ сюда, то есть какой-нибудь аппаратик, который будет и сюда УЗИ проектировать.
Нет, там проблема с горлом, что УЗИ работает только в тканях. И, собственно, почему его кладут под подбородок? Потому что там нету костей.
Ну да, то, что здесь костей нет.
А здесь есть хрящи и кости, они будут болеть.
Понятно.
Кстати, пытаются где-то сбоку что-то делать, что там есть такие вот места, где можно попасть в ткани. Ну, в общем, это какая-то для меня мистика. Ну да, у меня тоже есть мечта все-таки взять этим заняться, но для этого нужно сделать некоторые вещи и другие тоже.
Ладно.
Ладно,
Спасибо.
Да не за что.
Да. Тогда все.
До свидания.
Выхожу, да, до свидания.